Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are a co-production between Martin-Pitt Partnership for Children and Sheppard Memorial Library. And as you know, a lot of things are different in our world right now. We normally have this event in person at the library, and we love to be able to talk with you and play with your children and explore things. But things are a little different this year. So we're doing this event online. This is called Read to Love, Love to Read. And we like to highlight an age group that doesn't get a lot of press. We talk about preschoolers a lot, 3 to 5 year olds, and that time frame is definitely important. But one that's almost more important than that is birth to 2. And so this event really targets that age group and highlights for parents things that are going on with that age group. We're going to talk a little bit about development and the areas of development that are happening with your young child. And when we do this event, we love to have some stories and share some tips, things that you can do with your children at home. So that's what we're going to do today, just in a different format. So my name's Angela Sawyer. I work at the Martin-Pitt Partnership for Children, and there'll be several speakers today. They're all going to introduce themselves and tell you where they work. Some of these faces may be familiar to you. You might see them in your community. So thanks for joining us. And we're going to get started with a story time that is available through the library. So you can access just those story times later, not just through this event. So I'm going to throw to Erin, and she's going to be sharing with us a baby and me experience. So enjoy.
Hi, friends. I am so excited to be here with you today. My name is Miss Erin. I am from Sheppard Memorial Library, and this is my friend Penelope Pig. You want to come say hello, Penelope? Hi, sweetie. Well, we are going to read a special story with lots of nursery rhymes in it, and we're going to do a lap bounce as well for the babies and the toddlers. Grown-ups, nursery rhymes are great for infants and toddlers because they help develop an ear for the language we speak. Rhyme and rhythm help kids hear the sounds and syllables in each word, which will help them with reading later in life. I want to share this lovely book with you that is full of nursery rhymes, and it also has little puppets on it, which Penelope just loves, don't you? Well, let's say bye-bye to Penelope. Bye. She's going to sit over here and take a rest and listen to our story. There we go. She's nice and comfy now. Let's take a look at these finger puppets on the front. Let's see. We have a gray mouse. Squeak, squeak. A blue spider. Wow. A black sheep. Ba, ba. A yellow star, twinkle, twinkle, and a brown bear. Do you have a teddy bear at home? I do. This is Teddy. He's going to help us in a few minutes. Let's take a look at Finger Puppet Nursery Rhymes, illustrated by Annie Kubler. There are those friends. They're all holding hands and dancing. Hickory dickory dock. Hickory dickory dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1. The mouse ran down. Hickory dickory dock. What's next? Oh, I bet you know this one. Itsy bitsy spider. Itsy bitsy spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And itsy bitsy spider climbed up the spout again. Yay! That spider never gives up. Oh, look. It's Baa Black Sheep. Baa Black Sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 for master, 1 for the dame, 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. And now, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's a great one for bedtime. And last we have Teddy Bear, Teddy Bear. This one is great for standing up and doing it together with your toddler. Teddy Bear, touch your nose. Teddy Bear, touch your toes. Teddy Bear, turn around. Teddy Bear, touch the ground. Teddy Bear, reach up high. Teddy Bear, touch the sky. Teddy Bear, turn out the light, click. Teddy Bear, say good night. The end. That was a great story. Well, did you know that you can do a lap bounce with your baby or toddler to any of your favorite nursery rhymes? For today, I have chosen The Grand Old Duke of York. It's a really fun one. Teddy's going to help me. You say hello? Hello. He loves lap bounces. So for this one, I like to call it a bounce and lift because we're going to bounce babies on our laps like this and then lift them up into the sky. Now, if you want to get some more visual connection with babies so they can see the feelings and the emotions on your face, make sure they're turned around and facing you like this. All right, here we go. The grand old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill, and he marched them down again. And when they're up, they're up. And when they're down. But when they're only halfway up, they're neither up nor down. Yay! Oh, thank you for joining me. That was a lot of fun. Remember to talk, read, sing, and play with your baby and toddler every day. Miss Erin's going to say bye-bye for now, but now you get to hear from Miss Chantel, and she's going to talk about social emotional development. Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Chantel Sherman, and I work for Martin-Pitt Partnership for Children, and I'll be talking about in infants and toddlers. Okay. So we want to build our emotional literacy within our children. We want to be aware of your child's emotions, see emotions as an opportunity of connection and teaching, listen and validate the feelings, label their emotions, help children problem solve with limits. So this is actually an activity that I purchased from Amazon. It is a soft activity, so your children can actually play on it. If you have an infant, they can actually lay on it. And then you can talk about the feelings that you're feeling that day. So you can choose a bear, maybe a happy bear, and say, I'm feeling happy today, and show that bear to your child and also allow them to see your happy face. And then ask them, how are you feeling today? Even if they're an infant and they cannot respond, allow them to still hear that communication. Next, we'll talk about I love you rituals. Dr. Becky Bailey. She designed I Love You rituals as a playful means to promote optimal brain development. Dr. Bailey designed I Love You rituals as a playful means to promote optimal brain development, increase attention span, reduce hyperactivity, build self-esteem, amplify cooperation, and facilitate language development. I Love You rituals are structured, connecting activities that include eye contact, touch, presence, and playfulness. Families benefit from I Love You rituals at bedtime, morning routine, before and after meals, when saying goodbye, while on the diapering table, and more. So now I'm going to show you a couple examples of Dr. Becky Bailey's I Love You rituals. So the first one is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and it goes, twinkle, twinkle, little star, what a wonderful child you are. With bright eyes, nice round cheeks, a talented person from head to feet. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, what a wonderful child you are.
I Love You rituals are designed to build bonds between people so that each person in the interaction feels a sense of connection. Connection with parents, connection with teachers, and connection between children. This sense of connection creates a biochemistry that optimizes the function of our brain.
My name is DJ Baptiste.
Can you get on your knees?
Twinkle, little star, what a wonderful child you are. With bright eyes and nice cheeks, talented person from head to toe. Twinkle, little star, what a wonderful child you are.
Can I have one more?
One more bear hug for Mr. DJ.
Thank you so much.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. With bright eyes and rosy cheeks, a talented mother from head to feet. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. I love you.
now we will watch Dr. Becky Bailey do round and round the garden with an infant toddler. Okay, so our video does not want to play, which is okay. In this video, Dr. Becky Bailey has the infant toddler on her lap, and she's making eye contact with her. And she's saying, round and round the garden goes the teddy bear. One step, two step, tickle under there. So initially, as Dr. Becky Bailey is practicing with the toddler, she pretends to tickle her at first, and then the second time that she does it, she tickles the actual child. I'm not sure what happened, but my whole screen just went black. Can you all see me? My screen? Can you see me now? Oh, wow, okay. So in that video that was supposed to, we were supposed to share, that you can also find through Conscious Discipline, Dr. Becky Bailey has the infant toddler on her lap, and then she goes through the I love you ritual with that child. So when you're doing the I love you rituals, make sure that you have eye contact with the child, and make sure that you're in an area that the child feels comfortable, so that the child can feel safe with you while you are doing the I love you ritual. So now I'm going to turn it over to Miss Kim Peel, and she'll talk about sensory with infants and toddlers.
Hey there, I'm Kim Peel. I'm the Regional Infant Toddler Specialist, and I work at Martin-Pitt Partnership with Children. And I'm going to share some different sensory activities that you can do with your child at home or while out and about. So the first one is using sensory balls. And these balls, as you can see in the pictures, they have different textures on them. When a child holds a sensory ball, they appreciate the nubby feeling that it gives them. When they squeeze one, they can feel, they can feel the ball and how it feels on their hands and in their fingertips. And sensory balls also give the effect of a massage stimulation. So as parents, one of the things you can do is you can take the ball and you can roll it on their feet or their hands or their arms and ask them, how does it feel? Talk to them. Is it bumpy? Is it smooth? Giving them the names of those feelings that they may be feeling when you are using the balls with them. Also, just helping them to understand the different textures of the balls when they use them. The next thing is using books that incorporate sensory aspects to help children explore part of their world that they may not know otherwise. And colorful books that connect a sense of an object that the child may know about also is a way to, it is also a way for you to connect with your child. Having them sit on your lap as you're reading it. When you flip the page and it says, feel the fluffy tail of the bunny, take the child's hand and rub the fluffy tail so they can feel what it's like. You can also make different connections with the child with your language, talking about how the different feelings you may feel. There may be something that's rough, and how does that feel when you touch it? talking to them about all of those feelings as they're touching the books is a great way for them to make a connection with different sensory aspects of their life. And you want to, you want to talk to them about those feelings so they understand, what does that mean? When I touch that, how does that feel? If we give them that language, they start to understand it as they grow into toddlers. The next one is sensory bottles. Sensory play helps babies explore the world around them, and it just makes different connections in their brain. So we love sensory bottles because they're a mess-free way to spark curiosity with infants and toddlers. And you can make sensory bottles out of water bottles or Gatorade bottles, any type of bottle that you have at home that's clear. And you can put all sorts of things in it. There's some examples on the screen. As you can see, the baby has just different colors in each bottle, or there's some that you can make that make noise. Put something in it so when they shake it, it's loud, or put something in it like the pom-poms, when they shake it, it doesn't make a noise. So those things are all ways to get them exploring. And there are some great, Miss Erin is showing us one. There's great ways to make them on your own. They're simple. It doesn't cost a lot to put them together. And a lot of times you have things laying right around the house or outside that you can add to a sensory bottle. Again, talking to the children about if they are color coordinated, talking about the colors. Look at the green one. The green one is like the green grass that we have outside. Look at the yellow one. The yellow one is like the sun in the sky. Making those connections so they can see the color and make a connection with something that they may see every day. The last one is blowing bubbles. Blowing bubbles is such a fun activity for infants and toddlers, or really anyone of any age. And watching bubbles for a period of time helps babies to start to recognize patterns. Blowing bubbles as a family can help you bond with your child. Babies also try to reach out and touch the bubbles. It helps with motor development, with hand-eye coordination. One of the things that I really like to do when I blow bubbles is I ask the kids to put their finger out and we talk about how it's going to pop. So we touch it and we pop, 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 pop. And making that noise as they pop the bubble, it's so fun because then they start saying pop, 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 pop. So just a fun activity that you can try with your child. And, sensory is a great way to make connections with the outside world. I hope you can use these tools to incorporate sensory activities with your children at home. And next we have Miss Kristen, and she's going to talk to us about some cognitive development.
Thank you, Kim. My name is Kristen Hill. I'm a children's programmer at the Sheppard Library System. And today I'm going to be giving you some demonstrations and information about doing math with your baby. So why is it important? Well, supporting early childhood cognitive development is essential for building skills such as language, which we've done, and pre-reading and pre-math. So infants and toddlers naturally use math concepts to make sense of the world around them. And we can support that through math language and math concepts when playing with our little ones. Studies have shown that the use of math, language, and concepts actually supports them when learning those early skills, math skills in preschool. So there are many ways to actually develop the neural pathways and strengthen logical reasoning and quantitative development. We're going to actually go through and talk about some of those today. So first is mainly just surrounding your child with simple math vocabulary in everyday conversations. So the naming of shapes, like circle or square, you count your fingers. the best counters ever, and count your toes. And you can describe a child's environment using big or little. So you have empty, full, or over and under. There are a lot of rhymes using that. So also a good place to start is at your grocery store. There's plenty of things to count at your grocery store using comparison, counting, and even patterns. So for one thing, if you're going through the aisle and you come to the produce, you have apples. So you can say, is one heavier than the other? You can even compare colors. Around the age of 5 months, babies actually start to develop a good sense of color vision. So one is green, you can say green apple, and one red apple. And then, but they're learning, and it's awesome. You can also compare the size of boxes. So you may have a small box and a rectangle for a large box, like cereal. You can also start pointing out other shapes. You may see a pie, you say a circle. Like I said, with a rectangle cereal box, rectangle. And eventually they will use those neural pathways to connect the actual word and shape with what they're seeing. Another thing you can count is the aisle numbers. You say, now we're going down aisle number 1, or now we're going down aisle number 2. And they love that. Everyday moments also include like bath time. You can use these skills then. So you may have cups in the bath. So you're teaching empty and full, which is comparison as well. And more, sign for more, or all gone. So let's say you're sitting down, you're having popcorn, and there's nothing else left. So you say, all gone. And they can see that there's nothing in there. There are simple toys that also encourage math play. You have your tactile toys, like Ms. Kim was talking about. You have your nesting cups. We have blocks. Blocks are very simple. And you can compare size and concepts with those too. Babies and toddlers at this age develop the understanding of these concepts with addition and subtraction as well. There was a study done by Harvard University, and they actually had a box. So if you have a box at home, you can take your box, and if you have objects, so we have 3. You can actually say, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. When you do that, you're actually connecting the number with the object. And they can be the same type of object, like for cars or for dolls, or they can be different, stacking blocks. And basically what they're saying is that they understand that babies do have a sense of number sense when you take something away. If you take them all away and then have them look for them, they're actually going to go through and look for the number you counted, rather than just saying, this is 1, these are all shapes. They may stop at just 1 without hearing the number. And that's pretty cool. I thought that was very interesting. So there is a sense that babies understand a concept of numbering. Just like Miss Erin, she read us a book. There are plenty of books out there that talk about math. And not just that, there are plenty of counting books. We have some up here. Bear Count, Stack the Cats, 5 Little Monkeys, Jumping on the Bed. Very simple. And these develop pre-skills in counting. Well, I want to end on a quote from Glenn Domain. And it's a very good one. There has never been in history of man an adult scientist who has been half as curious as any child between the ages of 4 months and 4 years. We adults have mistaken this superb curiosity about everything as a lack of ability to concentrate, which is true. So keep them curious, keep them going, and keep them doing math all the time. Next, we'll have our next speaker, which is Miss Amy, and she's going to talk about physical development with Miss Angela. Have a great day. Bye.
Hey, everybody. Let's see. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit about physical development with infants and toddlers. Let's move. If you've got an infant or toddler, you don't have to coax them to do that. They're going to do it anyway. So let's try to develop a little bit of purpose to the movement. You can sing and dance and clap your hands. Here's my next slide. I just click on it. There we go. Infants and toddlers learn through body experiences. When they're moving, they're learning. Short books, songs, or finger plays that incorporate elements of body movement are great ways for babies to practice moving their bodies through space and practice body awareness and refine motor control. Practice creates pathways. Working to maneuver a spoon with their fingers today trains the muscles for holding a crayon or a pencil and then making marks in a few months. Simple activities repeated many times develop the muscle memory and nerve pathways, which will help children with more complex movements later on, like ballet and basketball and swimming. Mobile infants and toddlers need to move. It's good for them. Supply them with the time and the space that they need to crawl, roll, walk, run, jump, and fall where they'll be safe doing that. Talk with your baby about their body parts and name them. I'm going to get your toes. Sing songs with your toddlers like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Give them names for the body parts. Play little games with them. Where is your nose? You point to it and then get them to point to it. Just keep them moving. Again, we don't really have to coax that. That's kind of what they do anyway. There are lots of books out there that are movement books, and there's plenty of those in the library. I'm going to turn it over to people who are going to talk to you about music with your child.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Maxwell.
And I'm Nathan Maxwell.
And we do toddler story time at Sheppard Memorial Library. And we are going to focus on music. We do a lot of music in our story times, and there's a lot of benefits to that. So one of the benefits, if you sing to your baby, make eye contact, cradle your baby, it releases oxytocin, which is the cuddle chemical that is known to increase immunity and reduce pain.
Another thing that's fun to do with music is dancing. And if you rock and swing your little one through the air, it exercises the vestibular system, which is the mechanism in our inner ear that tells us where we are in space and helps us to keep our balance. It also coordinates our head and eye movements and helps coordinate both sides of the body together.
Yes, and then the third thing, listening to music. And so for babies and toddlers, this can serve as an on switch for learning, facilitating cognitive, social, emotional, physical, and linguistic development. Music and musical activities offer a sense of structure while also the freedom to be expressive and creative. Early exposure to music and music education give children's brains a boost and set them up for a lifetime of success. So, without further ado, we are going to celebrate music by singing you a song.
And this is a wintertime song that we wrote. It's called I'm a Snowman. the snow kid and the snow baby, snow angels on the ground. Watch the snowflakes dancing down. Snow angels on the ground. Watch the snowflakes dancing down.
So we have lots of great music at the library you can check out. There is a lot of great sources online as well. We have our YouTube channel, Sheppard Memorial Children's Library, and you can also follow us on Facebook. And thanks for watching.